right, welcome to day 4 of summer. Let's get playing. All right, as usual, check our TV, weather, all that. All right, what does Kozu5 have to say? It is going to be a beautiful sunny day, of course it is. It is the 4th, which means it is Jazz's birthday, so we'll have to catch her at some point today.
And that's okay.
We're going to head down to Marnie's anyway, try and give her another gift, something like that. So there's plenty of stuff around there. This is telling us all of the lovely fish that we can find only in summer. None of them are really relevant to what we need to do for the community center other than the puffer fish, which we're going to work on catching today because it's a neutral luck day, so it's a good day for fishing. They are a difficult fish to get, but not beyond our skill level at this point if you've been spending enough time fishing.
Right near the beach.
So let's say hi to Roberta. Roberta still hasn't eaten any of her hay there, which is not the end of the world. I could always lock her in there. She'd definitely eat some, but at this point, really doesn't matter because, like I said on a previous day video, we do not have any apples yet, so it's not like we can complete that particular bundle in the community center regardless.
What the hell does that mean?
We're going to have to plant some apples before the end of the summer because it takes the tree a full season to grow. It'd be lovely to have some rainy days so we wouldn't have to do this. It is one of the more tedious parts of Stardew Valley, which will shortly get taken away from us as a daily task because we're going to end up with plenty of sprinklers and such. But for now, it is necessary that we water the crops because on days you don't water them, they don't grow. So if you're thinking, you know what, I'm just going to skip it today, my advice is don't, because that gives you a waste of a day as far as profits go, and you're just going to have to continue doing it, but miss out on the money that you would get from watering your crops every single day.
Don't tell me my business, devil woman. Call the fire department. This one's out of control.
It's also part of the reason why sometimes you may want to spend down every last piece of gold you have in order to buy all of the crops possible for a greater return later on. But you do also want to keep your field a manageable size early on in the game so you're not spending your entire day watering your crops. So if you had, say, more money than I did in what I bought, or you wanted to not save any of the money, which I don't recommend if we're going to try and get all these goals accomplished for the community center, maybe just think about that in the fact that you won't be able to do any of the other gameplay or complete the community center if you buy all the crops in the world and then have to spend your time watering one by one. All right, so let's store this stone and get ourselves set up for the day. We want to bring this tulip for Jazz. She likes flowers. The kids don't really like fruits and vegetables. She loves the fairy rose, which is a fall crop, so we don't have any of that yet. Pink cake, unless someone has sent you one in the mail or if you've found one in the garbage, you're not going to have that. So your safest bet is a flower for Jazz. She likes those, except for poppies, which again, you're not going to have for her birthday the first year because it's a fall crop. But the only person who really loves poppies is Penny.
Poppy? Oh, Poppy.
I think Jazz says, like, ew, that's sticky or something like that. She thinks it's gross. Penny, I guess, seems like a sweet angel, but maybe she really has more of a drug problem than we ever would have realized. All right, so I think Jazz comes out of her room at 11, but let's head in here and check. Yes, she's still in there. Milk pail 1,000. We aren't going to buy that yet because we don't really need it at this point. We still have a few more days before our cow is fully grown. The lucky purple shorts are still hanging out in the bedroom and we can't get in there because Jazz is not our friend yet. So let's just head around the corner and do a little bit of fishing. to hopefully earn some income. Since it's a neutral luck day, my plan is to spend most of the day fishing anyway. We still need a puffer fish for the community center, and those are available in the ocean from 12 to 4 on sunny days only in the summer. So we'll have to spend some of our afternoons fishing.
You what?
All right, nice sunfish. Alright, I think Jazz comes out around 11. Let's get a few more casts in here because some of these fish are pretty easy to catch and worth a fair amount of money. The sunfish is worth some pretty good gold, and so is other stuff that's in the river like the pike, the dorado, all that kind of stuff. I think the dorado is only on the other side of Leia's cabin, but for now we can certainly get a few of these little guys here, which are gonna, oop, this is not a sunfish, he's a little wiggly, but we do have a treasure available, so hopefully we can nab that. Nice, all right, we got our treasure and a pike. At this point in the summer, I also recommend maybe you start saving some of the fish that you don't have in your chest if you haven't been doing that already. So like if we don't have a pike or a sunfish, I'm going to throw that in there rather than selling them, just because sometimes people ask for them in the community center, certain kinds of fish. It's nice to have one laying around, and you get lots of friendship points for answering those requests, in addition to the fact that you get usually above market value for whatever the particular villager is asking for.
I got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington.
And it is now noon. Jazz got her birthday gift. She's not supposed to talk to strangers, but we got this ancient dowel in our treasure chest there. So let's head over to the community center and just throw that into the donatables there. Nothing in the trash. This ancient doll, actually, sometimes I have a hard time tracking down in various playthroughs, so I'm glad we got it early on because it's nice to have. What I'd really love to get would be a dino egg.
And kind of, she calls it a Mayan egg. Are you okay?
I don't feel so good.
Because then we can save that and get ourselves some dinosaurs, which can be very difficult to find, but so far no luck. I am pretty fit from working on the farm all day. Thank you, Alex. Alright, do a quick little sweep for forageables here. We should be able to find some corals and stuff in the summer, which is always nice for some extra money. We've already got $2,500. We only need $5,000.
We got $5,000. We got $5,000. We got $5,000. Hey, check it out. Hey, Wayne.
For the silver axe, so we're getting pretty close to that. And we also are going to need that $1,000 for the milk pail in the next couple days here, so we should be right on track to do what we need to do to get our stuff done for the summer. See what Leia has to say for herself. She came for the sound of the ocean. It is beautiful. I'm not going to talk to Haley right now because she's just going to comment on the fact that I wear the same thing every day. I don't feel like her rude attitude.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Plus, it's wasting valuable time getting the puffer fish. That's the real reason. All right, so we got about 2 hours to try and catch one, and let's have at it. Seaweed? Nope. Okay. Well, that was probably a puffer fish because it was jumping all over the place. I wasn't ready for it. I guess you gotta sometimes just immediately hit the X button so your fishing bar goes up, and that way when they're really wiggly fish like that, you will be able to get it easier if you're just already tracking along with what it's doing. That being said, that means you're not going to get perfect quality on some of these other fish that you don't need, but I think it's worth it in the long run because that way you get exactly what you need when you're sort of out here just looking in particular for that more difficult fish like the puffer fish. also going to be easier to catch those more difficult fish once we have lures on our rod. The iridium quality rod allows you to get lures that will make it easier to catch fish, sort of depending on the type of fish. There's different stuff. There's the lead rod or the lead bobber that keeps you from bouncing along the bottom when you have fish that are hanging out on the bottom like that. There's also a trapper bob that sort of hangs on to the fish a little bit better, makes them escape a little slower, all sorts of stuff. But we're not going to spend 7,500 gold on that quite yet. What we're going to do instead is just practice makes perfect, repeatedly try to get these fish, and we are probably going to catch exactly what we need.
I need.
After the pufferfish and a red snapper, which only occurs in the summer. I think the red snapper occurs in the fall too, but only in rainy weather. We won't have much left other than the walleye in the fall, so really we've managed to do quite well for ourselves without having that rod for the community center.
Oh, good for you.
So I moved over here away from our nice high quality rock because you can see those little bubbles there underneath where my bobber is. They have a higher bite rate when those bubbles, you can see the little sparklies when you get on it. And so the fish will bite more often. So head over there just for a little bit because we want more chances to try and get our puffer fish before 4 o'clock, which is very quickly closing in. All right, so that's our last cast. I'm not sure if it got in there before 4 or not. But doesn't appear to be a puffer fish anyway because he's sort of compliant with what I'm trying to have him do. Love to get this treasure chest, but this fish is just making it too easy on himself. All right, nice little tuna. All right, we are low on energy, so let's head back toward the farm and try and do some chopping.
The sun shot!
Maybe we'll eat some field snacks if we can produce a few, or one of our lovely Autumn's Bounty if we can't, and get some wood so we have everything that we need in order to upgrade our coop, which we're going to try and do sort of the first big money expense after we upgrade that axe.
Let me ask you this! Let me ask you this!
Nice lost book for the library. Or the museum, I guess. The museum's the library connection. Here's a sweet pea. Those are great as gifts for both of the kids, Jazz and Vincent. A lot of the females in town love them. Evelyn really likes it. So we'll hang on to those. And throw this piece of CD garbage into our recycling machine. Alright, so we already have a tigerfish. Let's hang on to the pike and one of our lovely tuna.
Is it fishy? It's fish. You know what I mean.
And a mullet, and the rest of these can go. So we've got 6 fish, because there's this regular quality mullet that we're gonna sell.
Put that shit in the trunk so it don't stink up the car.
Bunch of coral, some of those purple urchin thingies, some seaweed. So this will be a pretty big money day considering we just spent a few hours fishing and didn't really do anything else with our time as far as making money. But let's go around and now spend the rest of our evening just chopping all of this wood. Can get hopefully a couple of those pine cones so we can make some field snacks. But if we don't get one, and let's just eat this Autumn's Bounty now so we don't pass out as we're trying to chop wood. And 6 o'clock is much too early to go to bed. It's just a waste of time. So still going to focus on these pine trees to try and get some pine cones. We have several of everything else, and as you could see, that Autumn's Bounty really gave us a huge burst of energy. We're almost back to the top of our energy bar there, so we can spend the next several hours clearing out our farm, chopping, getting rid of rocks, all that stuff to make a clear path for us. We can now chop down those big stumps and get hardwood.
Bushwood? A dump? Well...
which is going to be great for when we want to build a stable for a horse, which is going to be one of our next big purchases as well. Probably around the beginning of fall is my guess on that one. And
well, we're waiting.
we also can clear out plenty of these trees that are in our way and the fiber. Our silo is nowhere near full at this point, so we don't have to worry about wasting all this lovely grass that's taking over our farm. We'll have plenty to save, and like I said earlier in this video, Roberta by herself can't eat all of that hay, so we might as well just try and fill up the silo, and then if we get to the point where it's full, we can go ahead and have Robin build another one, as long as she's not building a coop or upgrading one of our buildings. Alright, so we are still in the yellow with our energy, so we're in really good shape. We've already got at least one of those pine cones. So for the rest of the evening, what I'm going to do until we are starting to run out of time is just wander around, get some stuff chopped down. Hey Roberta, she's trying to sleep. And then check our mushrooms eventually, but for now let's just head up there and do that since we're up here anyway. Alright, so head to sleep for the night and see what kind of money we made. $675 from foraging, including those mushrooms from Demetrius, $573 from fishing, $40 from that algae. So the red mullet, the tuna, sea urchin was lovely. So we made $1,200, almost $1,300, and we had a very productive day. Didn't get that pufferfish fishing in the afternoon, but the rest of it was super helpful as far as stocking up on our wood and all of that. So thanks for tuning in, and everyone have a great day.